still in case of Indonesia, EV penetration as a new car sales is 3%. So which means if we install EV chargers in Indonesia, so sometimes our charger is not used.
Yes.
However, that's the reason why we feel very opportunity. I want to supposed to be biggest EV charging operator at the private sector in Indonesia.
Gizmo Talk Podcast by Gizmology.
Hai Gizmo Friends, balik lagi sama saya Pras dari Gizmology. Di sesi Gizmo Talk kali ini ada yang spesial nih, karena mungkin kalau sebelumnya kita bahas topik tuh related to gadget. Yang kemarin kita sempat ngobrol sama tim Cinecrip, terus sama Exacut buat skin, tapi mostly kayaknya related to gadget and tech. Yang ini juga teknologi, cuman bedanya ini kita menyasar ke EV ya, karena electric vehicle tuh di Indonesia kan udah mulai populer nih, termasuk yang penting adalah ekosistemnya. Nah, di sebelah saya, ini adalah salah satu petinggi dari TerraCharge. TerraCharge ini SPKLU yang nantinya di Indonesia itu akan makin populer buat solusi Gizmo Friends yang mungkin sudah tertarik atau mungkin udah punya EV gitu ya. Nah, mungkin akan saya kenalin dulu. By the way, mungkin narasumber saya akan speaking in English. Nanti translasinya bisa lihat di subtitle, jadi dinyalain ya subtitlenya. Okay, so di sebelah saya ada Go Suzuki, Managing Director of TerraCharge. Hi Go, how are you?
Hi, I'm fine. And you?
Yeah, I'm fine too. Thank you. So, you're managing TerraCharge in Indonesia and other countries?
Yes, not only Indonesia, but also in Thailand.
Oh, also in Thailand. Okay.
Especially TerraCharge Corporation headquarters in Japan. Then under the TerraCharge Corporation in Japan, they have three companies. First is India, second is Indonesia, and third is Thailand.
Okay.
Then, in case of my job description, I'm in charge of Indonesia and Thailand.
I see. Okay, jadi Indonesia and Thailand. Okay, so maybe I'm gonna ask about the background first.
Yeah, of course.
So, before we talk more about the TerraCharge itself, so what motivates you in the first time to become an entrepreneur and choose the I mean, how the background story of TerraCharge? If I'm not mistaken, before you don't specifically talk about EV charging, right?
Yes.
Another industry. So maybe you can tell me more about it.
My background.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have experience is in Terra Group. For example, Terra Drone, and second is Terra Motors. So the reason why I joined to Terra Group is that I'm very sad about Japanese company situation.
Okay.
As you can see, for 20 years ago or 30 years ago, many Japanese companies are contributing to all over the world, like by delivering the product, like Sony or Panasonic or Sharp or maybe Toyota. So when I was in overseas, I was huge surprised about opinion of foreign peoples. I mean, many foreign people like Japanese people because they like to use Japanese products. They like to eat Japanese foods. So that's why I really like to see Japanese company contributing all over the world. However, recently, not like that. So their presence is reducing much more. So that's why I feel very sad. However, still I believe I can contribute to all over the world by providing Japanese services or Japanese products. That's why I entered to Terra Group.
I see.
Then after that, as a Terra Group, I was in charge of South America, like Brazil or Argentina and Chile, or maybe in the UK, so also in the Vietnam. So, like traveler, I was working out of Japan.
I see. Okay. So, but now you're focusing on those two countries, Indonesia and Thailand.
Yes.
Okay. So, maybe You can tell me more about how the journey of building the Terra Motors before now expanded to Terra Charge.
Oh, Terra Motors.
Yeah.
Yeah, Terra Motors is founded in 2010.
Mm-hmm.
At the initial phase, what we are doing is to manufacture E3 wheels and e-bike, especially in India. Then after that, we are looking for the more opportunity. So in the electric vehicle in the industries. Then 2 years ago, we found it out. In order to accelerate electric vehicle, EV charger as infrastructure is needed. Like in order to shift EV society, EV electric vehicle and then EV charger kind of chicken and egg.
Okay.
So which is first step coming? So we realize, electric vehicle. Of course, we are manufacturing in India. We sell it to India, but globally, they need EV chargers. So that's why we decided to enter the market of EV charging operator.
Okay. And how's the challenges so far? What's the main challenge that you faced before?
Main challenges is of course, we have to wait for the electric vehicle, especially four-wheeler coming. Still, in case of Indonesia, EV penetration as a new car sales is 3%. So which means if we install EV chargers in Indonesia, so sometimes our charger is not used.
Yes.
However, that's the reason why we feel very opportunity. So if there are many electric vehicles in Indonesia, which meant already there are many kind of EV chargers there. So right now, for us, thankfully still electric vehicle is not coming. So we have an opportunity to install EV chargers as well.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. That's why you on the previous weeks you mentioned that the goal is to open 1,000 public EV charging stations. Right?
Yes.
So what's the main vision about it? To switch to infrastructure to open the public EV charging station here.
So what you mean, vision or what?
Vision.
Vision. Of course, as you said, I want to supposed to be biggest EV charging operator at the private sector in Indonesia. Always, what we want to do is to be number one. Why? Sometimes many people ask why we are sticking to the number one. Because if we are number one, we can get more opinion, more feedback from customers or partners, which means we can get we will have more room to improve. If we are not number one, less feedback, less opinion, it's going to be very hard to improve, which means it's going to be very hard to contribute. So that's why always we want to be number one in the market.
I see. Well, that's quite reasonable. I mean, if so many people use your charger, you can easily develop the solution that fills their needs.
Yes.
Yeah, I see. Okay, now maybe we're talking more about the Indonesian market. So,
please.
in the past 1 year, you opened here 1 year, right?
Yes.
Since 2000.
We founded in last October, but in practice, we started run the business at the beginning of this year.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Okay, so during those few months, how do you see Indonesian market compared to Japan or other countries?
As perspective of EV charger market, so it's quite interesting compared to Japan, because as you know, Japanese is a much more conservative to use new technology or new thing. However, Indonesian people, how can I say, they tend to accept new things, new technology. So like that, in case of EV charger market in Indonesia, when we talk with building management or property developers, they are very interested in EV charging market, and then they believe EV coming. On the other hand, in case of Japan, due to personality like conservative, if we start to talk about EV charging business, real estate developer feel, oh, really coming, or oh, still new, it's gonna be risk or something. Always they start to consider risk first. On the other hand, Indonesia try to accustom to the situation. I mean the new investors. That's really exciting for me.
Yeah. Can we say that Indonesian customers are more adventurous about the new technology, maybe?
This is a really important point. You should be proud of your country. That's why you have having kind of personality. Your country is gonna be top GDP for country in 2040. So your country will be taking initiative all over the world. So I really understand why Indonesia is going up the economy based on the experience working in Indonesia.
Well, coming from someone that never went to Japan, I thought because I think they implement newer technologies earlier than Indonesia, I thought the situation is not like that. Okay. Now I see it. Okay, so maybe the next question would be, in your opinion, how big is the potential of growth of electric vehicles, especially in Indonesia, in the next few years?
Of course, in a few years, your country should be taking initiative on this market too, because you have a many population, which means you have a many your potential to buy electric vehicle. Also, as you know, air pollution is affecting the countries as well. So that's why, in order to save Indonesia environment, it's gonna be very good to good for Indonesian people to get high to initiative the market too.
I see. Yeah. We can see that way. I mean, our government they suggesting people to use EV for environmental purposes, right?
Yes.
I think it will be in line. Okay. Okay. So, what about the future of EV industry in Asia overall?
Asia. Yeah. Of course. I think they're gonna be accustomed to use electric vehicle. So then, of course, as you can see, Thailand is one of the benchmark for Asia. For example, right now, electric vehicle EV penetration as a new car sales, Thailand is, I think, 15%, 1/5. So Indonesia is around 2 or 3%, which means other countries like Indonesia or Malaysia or Philippines, Vietnam, they're gonna be the situation like Thailand. So that's for sure. So which means as Asia, I hope they can lead. They can be leading the EV market.
I see. Okay. Maybe you can compare it to Thailand or other countries in Asia. Given the different regulations and infrastructure in each countries, how do you adapt TerraCharge expansion strategy here?
Indonesia. Yeah, one of the interesting point about Indonesian regulation is the regulation is quite changing.
Okay.
So compared to other countries one, but I realized but before I experienced to work in Indonesia, I heard, oh, Indonesian regulation changing frequently or but I realize why their regulation changed first because your country, your people, as I said, they try to accept new things. So excited to start to use new technology or something. So that's why like that. Indonesian government too. They they are supposed to change first based on that.
Yeah.
So that's why one of the point is I feel it's interesting, but of course always we much more pay attention to regulation changing from time to time.
Yeah, like continuous adaptation.
Yes, that's needed to be successful in Indonesia, I feel.
That kind of thing doesn't happen in Thailand?
Now, Thailand and Japan, very slow regulation if changes.
Okay.
So we don't need to take it into consideration compared to case of Indonesia.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Okay, so now maybe we're gonna talk about the future of TerraCharge.
Yeah.
In addition to public EV charging station, is there any plan to market Terra Motors in Indonesia, or what do you think about it? Other business then?
Other business.
Yeah.
My answer is yes or no. But in case of Terra Motors, I mean right now in India we are manufacturing E3 wheels. But I don't plan to launch that kind of product in Indonesia because the most important point is the number of parts to manufacture E3 wheels, e-bike is quite low compared to 4 wheels. So even 4 wheels of electric vehicle, the number of parts is quite less compared to gasoline. So what I wanted to say, if changing to electric vehicle, and then if we plan to launch E3 wheels, maybe e-bike, so what is our strong point to contribute to Indonesia? Because if the less number of parts, the less we can create a strong point.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, that's why, as you know, the Japanese automotive companies, they hesitate to change to electric vehicle because they start to lose the strong point when they change to electric vehicle because of the number of parts. So like that, of course, if we can find a way to make the strong point, of course, I love to enter the market. But right now, as perspective of EV chargers, if we install many EV chargers in Indonesia, what is our strong point? Our strong point will be we can store more electricity. So in the future, Indonesia is migrating to electricity compared to gasoline. In that case, maybe not only Indonesia but also other countries, what is the problem after the electricity or EV society, which is demand and supply will be unbalanced. So which means, for example, let's say if at noon hundreds of electric vehicles, if they start to charge, the limitation of electricity supplied by PLN, maybe it's gonna be no good situation. So in that case, if we install many chargers, we may supply electricity from our EV charger to electric vehicle. So which means PLN find out, they can save more electricity in case worst scenario.
Okay.
So that's maybe future our business in Indonesia.
I see. Okay, maybe this is slightly out of topic from our topics about expansion plan. I want to know more about the E3 vehicles. Is it still growing in
Still
some
going,
countries?
yeah. Of course, our focus area
Hmm?
is India. Is
Hmm.
in that case right now, of course, India is they have many population, and then they have a three classification. First is bike, second is three wheelers, and then third is four wheelers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, based on the population, based on the based on the kind of like money or something.
Okay.
In that situation, of course, what we are manufacture, how many products we manufacture right now, every year 20,000 units.
20,000 units.
Yes,
every
we
year.
manufacture and we sell it to India.
Mm,
So that's why still increasing the market. But I'm not sure. So this situation really should be applied to Indonesia, because Indonesia, before starting buy three wheeler, they buy four wheelers.
Yeah.
So this classification is cut it out.
I see.
So maybe this is just India situation, but I'm not sure. So whether this kind of situation happen in Indonesia in the future
I
too.
see, I see. Okay. Also, that's all my question. Maybe another additional question. Do you have any favorite dishes from Indonesia? Have you tried our local cuisine?
Of course, because I've been to not only in Jakarta but also Surabaya
Oh,
or Makassar.
that's my
or-
hometown actually.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Next week, I'm going to present at the Airlangga University.
Yeah.
Then also Bali. So
Mm.
every time I visit to province, of course I try to eat local foods. But sometimes Indonesian like to eat very spicy food.
Oh, so you don't like spicy foods?
I like spicy foods.
Okay.
So I think local our staff, they misunderstand whether I like or I don't like. Actually, I like, but my stomach sometimes they don't feel well. So that's why as low
Same problem actually.
as low as possible, I try to avoid. But
Mm.
especially the taste, I like spicy foods.
Okay. Okay, then thank you, Go,
Yeah,
for
thank you
your
so
time.
much.
Looking forward for the expansion of Tera Charge in
Yeah, thank you
Indonesia.
so much. Yeah, I hope so.
Oke, sekian Gizmo Fans sesi Gizmo Talk kali ini bersama gue Suzuki dari Tera Charge. Gizmo Fans nantikan video-video berikutnya bersama narasumber yang makin oke lagi. Kita akan bikin ini secara rutin. Silakan komen kalau misalnya Gizmo Fans punya ada saran narasumber apa sih, topik apa yang harus kita bawa. Sampai ketemu di video-video berikutnya. Bye-bye.